Hello, Golden Waffle Games here. I'm making a pretty short video on how I use OBS Studio to record two separate tracks of audio, one being my desktop and one being my microphone, taking that audio, transferring it over to Resolve software in order for me to be able to edit it, edit the volumes and EQing and whatnot, and then from there to YouTube. And the reason I'm making this video is because I looked at a few different websites and I watched a few different videos and I had to do a little bit of searching. I don't like searching. So I'm going to put everything that I learned into one video and maybe that'll help somebody else. Maybe it won't. I don't know, but I'm doing it. So here I go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little background audio here. And as we can see, we got the meter going. Now, I'm assuming that you already know how to use OBS Studio. If not, there's plenty of other people that explain how to use that. And the same thing with Resolve. But you'll see from this point forward how I go about doing what I do. So as you can see, my meters are going. That's a cool thing. I got my desktop audio going. That's a cool thing. One thing I want to do is I want to go into the advanced audio properties. And what you're going to see here are the tracks. I've got my mic, I got my desktop, and then I've got the tracks. So I'm gonna check 1 and 2. Now, if I had this on 1 and 1, it's gonna record all into one single track. You wouldn't be able to separate them and mess with the volumes later on. This would be good for streaming because you're gonna have everything mixed together. If I had this set up right now and I was going live, you wouldn't be able to hear one of the tracks, mainly track 2. So this is how you're gonna want it set up while you're recording your Let's Play or your voiceover or whatever you're doing. Now let me close that out. Okay, so this is DaVinci Resolve 14. If you're not familiar with it, then you should be, because it is free. It is very free, and it does a whole lot of cool stuff. If you're not familiar with editing or doing anything like this, then this is a good way to get your feet wet, because it will cost you nothing. That's a good price. So what you're going to want to do once you're at this screen, after you download it for free, go to New Project. We're just going to title this Audio. No, we're not. Yes, we are. And we are. And this is the screen that's going to show you. This is the main screen. What I do after this is I go to Media down here. And then I go to where I put my stuff, which is right here. So this is what I had done just a little bit earlier. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop this in my media pool. And what it's going to do, it's going to ask if you want to change the frame rate from your current project to what the settings are in here. It's already got some preset settings. I'm going to change to what I like to have it at. And you don't have to do that, but you're going to want to know what you're trying to record at, what you have it set to at OBS, and then what Resolve has it set to. I like to use what I have it set for OBS. So now that I have that in there, I'm going to go to my edit, and I'm going to go to my media pool up here, and here's that clip that I put in. I'm going to drag that down here. Now this puts this into your timeline. This allows you to do all the editing. When I first saw this, I was very confused. And I mostly am still confused. But what I did figure out how to do is to come down here and look at this. Audio 1, Audio 2. Which is pretty sweet, because you can see I've got the things. Let me play real quick. Let's go skip forward. EQing and whatnot. And then from there to YouTube. All right, so you can hear me. You can hear me. Let's pause that real quick. Now down here you can actually go further. Let's go forward a bit. Now you can see right in here is when I should be having the background audio going. So let's hit play real quick. Same thing with Resolve. But you'll see from this point forward how I can hear it, but I can't hear it really loud. So as you can see, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go over to this far light. We're going to click on that. Now this is focusing more on the audio. And we can take this mixer and we can drag it out. So now Now we're looking at some more stuff. Let's hit play again. Cool thing. I got my desktop audio going. That's a cool thing. So let's see if I can
One thing I want to do is I want to go into the advanced audio properties, and what you're gonna see.
I want to put that down maybe a little bit.
I got my mic. I got my desktop.
So what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting the levels. As simple as that. With this, you can take. Say you recorded and you don't like how loud your voice is. We'll simply turn it up. Or maybe the game's too loud, you didn't realize it. Simply turn it down. Now, here's where it gets cool, in my opinion. And I'll go through this quickly. But let's back it up just a bit. Let's go back a little more. Let's hit play.
Hello, Golden Waffle Games here.
Okay, so what I can do is
short video on how I use OBS.
now see we got this EQ. Now, this requires a little bit more research on what you want to do with this band, but look at this. You just drag this guy.
To Resolve software in order for me to be able to edit it.
And now, I mean, that kind of does not sound that good, but it deepened up my voice. So let's back it up a little bit.
The reason I'm making this video is because I looked at a few different websites and I watched.
Let's clean it up a little bit.
I had to do a little bit of searching. I don't like searching, so I'm gonna put everything that I learned into one video, and maybe that'll help somebody else.
Look at this. You can just manipulate.
Doing it. So here I go. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a little background audio here, and
turn that band on.
Meter going. Now I'm assuming that you already know how to use OBS Studio. If not, there's plenty of other people.
Now there's tons you can do with this.
And the same thing.
If your voice is flat, you can. Let's bring it down a little bit. If your voice is flat, you can add bass to it. If your voice is too bassy, you can take some bass away. You can add some more treble. You can go through and you can EQ all these bands, which is amazing. You can mess around with it. I went on YouTube and I found a few videos on what works for other people. I found that it took me a lot of manipulating to get how I wanted it to be with my voice. But it's really neat that you can do this. It's an easy thing to do, because once you get it set, you just simply close it and it's EQ'd right there. And then that's sweet. Let's turn this down. So now that we got that little part out of the way, let's stop that. Let's go back to... Let's go to the edit real quick. Now, everything looks good there. Of course, there's cool things you can do with editing as far as... I'm just going to show you one real quick thing that I... Like if you want to fade in, you just click up here and you drag it. You can do the same thing with the audio. Whoops. So here we go. Then it starts to black and you can click and then fades in. Super stupid easy. And it's something you can add. It's just fun how easy that is to do. So let's talk about putting this into YouTube real quick. Now, down here we've got, oh, sorry about that. We've got deliver. Now, once you're in deliver, you're going to want to go on to YouTube. Boom. Now let's go to video real quick and go down. So here's the resolution that I recorded at, frame rate 60. One thing that I do, this is what I already had it set at, so I'm gonna take it off of restricted and I'm gonna go to best. And then everything else is, I just leave the same. It does it fine. Now audio, this is what threw me through a loop. Here's what you gotta do. It automatically has you in this timeline track. You're going to want to change that to main stereo 1. And then you're going to want to go to render 1 track per channel. And that's literally all you have to do. I also want to change my bit depth to 32, because why not have it be the best it can be? So now that I have it on 32 and I have it on render 1 track per channel and main stereo, now it's going to record all that into one nice channel of delicious sound. Once I do that, I can add my render to queue. And then I put where I want to put it. We'll put it over here. No big deal. Now it's over here. And then simply start the render. Render. I didn't give it. I already have a timeline one apparently. So it's going to sit there. It's going to render. And when it's done, you're going to have the video with all your stuff saved to it. And then you can take that video and you can upload it to the YouTubes where the people can do the watching. And all is good. So it's really easy. If you don't want to worry about leveling the audio beforehand, you can do it afterwards. And it's just simple. And then with the EQing, you can do a lot more to the voice. So that's cool too. If this will help somebody get going, then cool. Awesome. I did something good in this world and help deplete some of the bad karma points against me. All right, well, if you watched this far, thank you for watching. Have a good day.